Welcome to Homemaking with Mima. My name is Wendy, and in this video, I'm bringing you a few meals that we had in the last few weeks here. There's one meal that I didn't have a finishing display of what it looked like. I totally forgot, and I apologize. I'm not very good at getting the ending done when I do meals. I'm good at showing you that I'm throwing some meals together, but I'm not very good at getting the very end. So there is one meal that is missing one. So I hope you enjoy this. Okay, so for supper tonight, because I'm going to be busy doing other things here, I think my phone is kind of shaky here. I apologize for that. I took out a beef rump roast from our old um, beef. We haven't gotten a new one yet. We got our pork, but we just haven't gotten our beef. And I've got things to use up. I've got banana peppers, some chopped onions that were in the freezer, and they look mushy, but they're good. It's just because they were frozen. And I've got a half a packet of ranch, and I've got a half a stick of butter. So what I'm going to do is, I know this roast is tied, but I'm just going to leave it like that so it stays together a little bit. I'm not sure if we're just going to eat it as seasoned chunks alongside of mashed potatoes, or if we like what juices it makes from the banana peppers, onions, ranch seasoning, and butter, and have it over the mashed potatoes. No matter what, we're going to have mashed potatoes with it a little later, and I'm going to bring you along to show you how well the freezer mashed potatoes turn out. And so I'm just going to get this thrown together. I sprayed the inside of my crock pot. As you can see, I've got it on a grate to kind of hold it up from the bottom. Just going to sprinkle that half a packet of ranch seasoning on there. I don't know if it's going to be too much. I've never done this before. It kind of reminds me of that, what's that viral Mississippi roast or whatever? I don't know. But I have these to use up. We're not big banana pepper eaters. But this is going to give it flavor. So put all that over it. This is how you don't waste food. I had this in the freezer. And I thought, okay, you're coming out. We're going to use you up. The rest of these onions. Yeah, they don't look the greatest, but they're still good. I'm going to use these up too. And the juice. My hands are clean. Then I took my half a stick of butter. Wash up my hands, and I'm going to get it into the crock pot sleeve. Okay, I set it on low, and we're going to let it go as long as I can today. All right, so to go with that roast, I just threw some frozen corn into the crock pot. Got that on. I'm just making a gravy packet, and I'm using a half a cup of the juices from that because of it had those banana peppers and that in there, and then a half a cup of water because these packets call for a cup of cold water. So that way then it still has the flavors of the roast. Okay, so I'm about ready to get the mashed potatoes in the microwave. Now these are the mashed potatoes that I made ahead of time and I froze them. And I told you that the consistency is not the same when you thaw them out to get them ready to heat up. And I have not opened this yet. As you can see, it's like crumbly, kind of watery. Let's see if I get it into the bowl. It's just, it's, you would think that ain't mashed potatoes. But I promise you it will work out. All right, so I'm going to stick them into the microwave and I'm going to put them in for 2 minutes and then I'm going to give them a stir. Okay, they're just about done. Take them out. They don't look much different. That's okay. You have to keep stirring them and you have to keep microwaving them until they become the consistency that you want. And it does get hot. So, I'm going to put it in one of these in the microwave. But you see, it's still not mashed potato consistency. And I usually do it at 2-minute intervals. So that was the first 2 minutes. Now we'll do the second 2 minutes. And I'll bring you back when that's just about done. Okay, so the second 2 minutes is up right now. Take them out. Give them a stir, and you're going to notice they're getting just a little bit more thick. Just a little bit. Don't give up. This is where I gave up because I was like, wow, okay, this isn't working. But don't give up. Another 2 minutes. The reason why we do 2 minutes and 2 minutes is to give them a really good stir. Give them a really good stir, then get them back in there and do it again. Okay, so the third set of 2 minutes is up. Take them back out. Now you can see they're getting a little bit thicker. Nice and thick. Give them a good stir. Yes, it's all going to be piping hot. But yeah, the texture is, it's coming together. Another set of 2 minutes. All right, that set of 2 minutes is up now. Take them out, and this pan is going to be smoking hot. Everything's going to be hot. Now, they're to the consistency of true mashed potatoes. I'll bring you in a little closer. So I have a fork in there, but I'm going to just show you, just by the spoon, true mashed potatoes. That is why it's so nice to do homemade mashed potatoes, get them frozen, and then you can just microwave them for your meal. And you didn't have to go through all the work of peeling, boiling, mashing, all that right at that mealtime. And I'm sure you could do this in the oven as well, heat them up and just keep them stirred. You could even try it on the stovetop. I never have. I've just always microwaved them. All right, for this meal, I am going to throw together really quick because I'm busy and I'm tired. I'm going to do a chicken Alfredo casserole. I'm going to use thin spaghetti noodles and break them up. I'm cooking them right now. And I've got the chicken that I peeled off of those chicken legs that I did a while back, a can of Prego classic Alfredo sauce, and I've got some of those frozen chopped onions that I've got. Really simple. So I'm just cutting that chicken down into more bite-sized pieces. I thawed it out, so it's completely thawed. All right, now I'm just waiting for the noodles to finish getting cooked, and then we'll get this all put together. Okay, So I've got the spaghetti noodles are finished. I rinsed them with cold water and then put a little bit of olive oil on them just to kind of coat them a little bit. I'm just going to take some of these frozen onions and mix it in here. I'm going to mix the sauce part up first because I made extra noodles. I always do. I've got a small casserole dish here, probably like 9 by 9. So I've got that all mixed up. And I'm just going to put some of the broken, and I broke them in threes. And noodles everywhere. You know, kind of like what you would do for a small child eating it. I just don't have time this afternoon to babysit everything on the stove. So I thought, okay, I'm just going to turn it into a casserole. And this looks like it's perfect. I'll bring you in closer. It looks perfect. I'm going to put some mozzarella cheese in it as well. Top it with some mozzarella cheese and then put some parchment paper, some foil on it. And then I'm just going to put it in the refrigerator. And when it's time for supper, I'm going to throw it in. I always have a washcloth there. There it is. Along with that chicken Alfredo casserole that I'm going to be making up, I've got a can of green beans in the crock pot. So to also go along with the chicken Alfredo casserole that I made, I've got the green beans in the crock pot, but I thought, well, let's have some garlic bread as well. So I had some hamburger buns left over. Great way to use it up. So I just put some butter on it and I sprinkled some garlic powder on it. And we're going to have those with it as well. We also had a can of pears in the refrigerator. So I thought, okay, we're going to have some pears to go along with supper as well. So pears with the chicken Alfredo casserole. So I'm going to bake this chicken Alfredo at 350 for 45 minutes. And then for the last 10-15 minutes, I'll take the foil and parchment paper off and let it brown up just a little bit. And then we'll be able to plate it up. All right, so I am going to be making another meal in the crock pot. It's been kind of warm out and I don't want to turn the oven on. So I am going to make, I have some of this I need to try and use up. I have a block of cream cheese. I'm going to use half of it. And I have 2 whole chicken breasts from when I went to Aldi and bought up on all the chicken breasts. So they're already cleaned and I can just put them right in there. So this is going to be an easy one. I'm just going to spray my crock pot. Okay. We're just going to get our chicken breasts in there. And I did double bag these just when I was to help with the sealing. And it worked pretty well. I'm going to throw that in there. I cut the 8-ounce block of cream cheese in half. I cut it into cubes. Not that it's going to matter any. Try to keep all this together. This is a larger crock pot. I don't have one smaller than this one other than my really small ones, and this is too much for those. And I have a half a cup of that Frank's Red Hot Sauce. Just pour that over the top of it. I'm going to wash my hands, get the crock pot in the sleeve. This tends to be my little big crock pot workstation. It just kind of works out nice. It doesn't take up table space or counter space. You just want to make sure these are open all the way. So I am going to cook this on low for 4 hours, and then I'm going to check it. And I'll bring you in a little closer so you can see what it looks like before it gets all cooked up. Here's what it looks like. It's just the 2 whole chicken breasts, half of an 8-ounce block of cream cheese, or you can buy, I don't even know if they make 4 ounces anymore, and a half a cup of the Frank's Red Hot sauce. We're going to get this cooking. Like I said, I'm going to put it on low for 4 hours, and then I'll check it. Okay, so that has been on for about 5 hours now, and we're just going to let it cool. Then I'm going to shred it, and I'm going to get it all mixed together, and I'll show you how we're going to eat it. Okay, so I took the chicken breast out, and I got it shredded, and then I just used a ladle and scooped out the juices and what pieces of cream cheese that I could find in there. And I got it all mixed together in here. And you can put a little bit of ranch dressing in there as well if you want, but you don't have to. It does have a kick because it is Frank's Red Hot Sauce. It's toned down just a little bit with the cream cheese. And if you want to tone it down even more, you could put ranch salad dressing, kind of mix it up in there with it. But we're going to eat it with those small assorted peppers. And this is going to be quite a few meals, actually. It's probably going to be 2 meals because it does get quite filling. Okay, so for this Frank's Red Hot Sauce chicken mixture, I pulled out a little bit for myself because I like to have the ranch mixed in there because it does cool it off. I'm not one for extremely hot, spicy stuff. Mix it up. And it makes a lot. This is just a little bit out of the container. So I have some of those assorted peppers that you can buy. And I cleaned them and then took the insides out and cut them in half. And I also have celery. So you just take a little bit and you stuff your pepper. Or your piece of celery. This is a quick and easy supper, lunch, because you can make it ahead of time. You can freeze it up. You can just pull it out, heat up what size portion that you want. This would make a good appetizer for someone who's, watching, calories, or if they're on a certain diet, they can't have, let's say, like anything with gluten. There's no gluten in here. Well, there might be a little bit in the cream cheese. I'm not sure. I didn't read the directions, or not the directions. I didn't read the ingredients, but it's got a little kick to it, but you can tone it down with the ranch dressing. All right, so that is meal number 3. I want to thank you folks for joining me today, and actually for watching all the other meals that I made. I think the two other meals that I have on here. If you like this kind of content, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, and I want you folks to make it a really great day.